What's up? It's me, Haley Jones, and I am here with Suzanne Salchert of Your Imminent Domain Interior Design.
She got it right.
Boom! I was like, well, because the way you spell your last name all day, I was like, is it Salchert? Because it's Salchert. Salchert.
Right. The
So
CH
like,
is like a K, so that's really easy to remember.
Yeah, easy. So I'm proud of myself. I didn't botch the first 30 seconds. Okay, so we're going to talk interior design today. And I'm obsessed with interior design, although if you looked at my house, you couldn't tell it. Okay, so you're going to help us today.
I will help.
But before we do that, we are going to do, as we do, rapid fire.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Plantation shutters or Roman shades?
Roman shades.
Like all day, every day?
Yes, because plantation shutters, in my mind, block your view. They block the light.
Oh, yes.
Roman shades will just give you a little bit of finish on your window.
Okay, and also, is a plantation, I guess it depends on the fabric, but in my mind, a plantation shutter is like more expensive than a Roman shade. Or does it depend
I
on
think
the
it
fabric?
depends on the fabric and the size of your window.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that go into that.
Okay. I like it. Okay, lake house or beach house?
Lake house. I have a lake house, so I'm a little partial.
So I'm going to go with lake house on this one.
But I will addend and say that's why I do interior design, because then I could do the beach house and enjoy it just as much.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. What's your favorite room to design?
Oh, gosh. I love doing kitchens because there are so many different things that you can add, so many textures, finishes that you can just make it amazing.
Oh,
and it's a great workspace. You can make it really functional.
Yeah, I need your help. Anyways, what's a design trend right now that you're like, I never want to see this again?
White shaker cabinets in the kitchen.
Really?
Yes. Although I just finished a kitchen that had white shaker cabinets.
Yeah.
But there was method to our madness. They're probably going to be selling the home, and we felt like that was the most
neutral, like appealing,
even because even gray, like, get away from the gray. That's the other thing.
Shaker cabinet, that's the one with it's got the border around
it's just
outside, right?
Just a picture frame around the door.
Okay. What's one of the biggest design mistakes you see people make?
Oh, hanging pictures. Too high, too low, like scattered all over the wall with never any kind of method to their madness at all.
What's something that people spend money on that, like, they probably could have spent money somewhere else when it comes to design?
I don't know that there's any one thing, because I think everybody has their priorities that are important to them. Yeah. I think it all depends on what's important to you. I don't know that there's any right or wrong answer to that.
Yeah, interesting. Because I'm like, where am I spending too much money? But also, I think fabric always is like way more expensive than I thought it would be.
It's always more expensive than you anticipate, and you're going to find the one that is the most expensive, and that is going to be your favorite, without a doubt, hands down.
Yeah. Okay. Cats versus dogs. What are we looking at?
Cats. I have two cats.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Do you do design things based on like your cats? Because I feel like our dog, for example, he's taken over the entire house. It's not really design. It's all of his nonsense all over the place. So
I don't know that I have it in mind, but definitely if somebody has a pet, and the pet is part of the family and they're on the furniture, you have to take into consideration making sure the hair doesn't show up all the time.
Right.
I have a cream colored couch and I have two cats.
Oh,
so I just vacuum a lot.
Okay, do you prefer like a walk-in pantry, or like if you had to choose a walk-in pantry versus like custom beautiful cabinetry that like holds everything? What are you picking?
Walk-in pantry.
Okay.
And that's my personal opinion, because I like to walk in and see everything neat and organized.
Yeah.
And can look at everything without having to open doors and go shuffling through things.
Yeah.
So, walk-in pantry.
What's the biggest like design myth that people have about like home design, do you think?
That it's expensive. That hiring a designer is expensive.
Yeah.
It's not. We are not meant to make you spend extra money because of what we pick. We try to work inside your budget. And our goal is to maybe save you some money because you won't have made mistakes. You'll have had a whole plan in mind before you even get started, and you know where you're going to end up, whether it be we have a 2-year plan, we're going to start with our kitchen, we're going to do the bathrooms, so that when you end up at the end of everything, it looks cohesive and it looks like you thought about it before you did it.
Right. Yeah.
And also expose you to other things that you might not find if you were doing it on your own.
Oh, that's a good point. Other things besides the Target decor aisle.
Right. Although there's some great finds at Target.
I know.
There's some great finds at Target.
I had a listing recently and it was beautifully decorated.
Yeah.
And there was like a Monet, it was fake Monet, obviously, or whatever. And somebody that came to look at the house was like, I think that's from Target. And I was like, oh, there's no way. I was like, there's no way it's from Target. So I texted my seller and I was like, is that from Target? And she's like, yeah. So anyway, you would never like know that it was, So it was kind of funny.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about your Imminent Domain interior design.
Okay.
Which is your business.
Yes.
And okay, tell us like what exactly do you do? What is your Imminent Domain? Like, what do we need to know?
So I try to tailor my services to what my client needs. They might need help with furniture arrangement or moving into a new home and taking what they have and finding the right place and making it be cohesive. Room layouts, window treatments. I will work with you in new home construction if you're building with your builder.
Yeah.
There's a lot of selections involved with that. People become overwhelmed really, really quickly. I say turnkey, which is kind of an overused term, but however you want to tailor those services. If you think you need a couple of hours of my help to pick paint colors because you're repainting, I can do that. If you need a whole kitchen gut job and we're redoing everything, we can do that too. So it's basically tailored to their needs, and I will do all the way up through if you want me to pick out your china and your flatware and outfit your kitchen with all the little appliances, I'll go shopping for you if that's something that you just can't be bothered with.
Yeah. Or
absolutely.
It's just so overwhelming.
Right.
To me, it's so overwhelming. Like, we redid our kitchen a couple years ago, and I was like, where do I even put stuff?
Yeah.
And like, and it's still an issue.
Yeah.
So that to me, I think it's just overwhelming too, of like how to actually even use the space.
Well, and there's also, especially if you're building a home, people I don't think realize you need to know what your appliances are early. You need to know what light fixtures early because they have to run the wiring. And if you choose to do a sconce versus some other type of fixture, they need to know the sizing and where to place it.
Right.
Do you want heated floors? All that has to go in framing stage. There's a lot when you're building a home that you may not consider till it's too late, and then you're sorry you didn't.
Yeah. What's the most common thing that clients call you for help with?
Probably, I'm going to say furniture, maybe. I do a lot of remodels though with kitchens and baths, so that's probably like equal share.
Yeah. What is your take on like a luxury vinyl kind of hardwood, or like a hardwood luxury vinyl planking versus like hardwood?
I still absolutely love hardwood. There is nothing like hardwood. There's nothing like walking on it. It's got that warm kind of feeling on your bare feet. However, there's some really good luxury vinyl plank out there. Price comparison, it really depends on the quality of the product versus the hardwood. And if you've got dogs, you may want to opt for the luxury vinyl because you're not going to get their claw marks and stuff on the hardwood. I would say if you're going with a really high-end luxury vinyl, it's going to be really difficult for somebody to complain about it because there's such really good interpretations now.
Yeah, I think that gone are the days where it's just necessarily like a gray.
Yes. No, there's some really, really good copies out there of wood. Yeah. Very good.
What are some challenges you find? Like when I say old, like for example, since this is about me, no I'm just kidding. Like my house was built in 1899. It's an old farmhouse. Never originally had a bathroom, never originally had, whatever. So when people are thinking about design for an older house, like what are some of your suggestions?
I am a very big proponent of keeping the home kind of in the era that it was. I really like to maintain the look that it had. So trying to find products or ideas that fit into that era, but at the same time, updating it. So your appliances are updated, your bathroom might be state of the art, but somehow you incorporate a vanity or a mirror, or your lighting fixtures kind of fit with that era.
Right.
And I love the moldings and the staircases and
what's your take on like painting the molding and like the staircases? Leave it wood?
Please leave it wood. Please don't paint it. Don't paint it.
I never knew this until we moved into this house, and my husband, I was like, we need to paint all this. And he's like, we're not painting any of it. Yeah. So like we painted the walls obviously, but anything that was like the original wood, he was like, no ma'am, Like, we're not touching that.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah. So, okay, on the opposite spectrum, we have a lot of, like, just, like, you pull into a new construction neighborhood and all the houses are the same.
Yeah.
Or just very, like, sterile. So what are some design suggestions for, like, that kind of situation? Like, how do you make your house different if it's just a spec?
Yeah.
New construction, like, you're coming in after it's already done. Like, what do you...
I think to make yours from the outside, especially, you can do a lot with landscaping to set your property apart, which has nothing to do with me. I don't do landscaping.
But she's got vision. She can
I can help you.
Yeah, she can help.
But on the inside, that's where you're going to shine. So if you want to sell it in the future, you're going to be set apart from somebody else on your block.
Right.
The other thing that you can do, depending on the age of the house, and HOA is also a huge factor.
Right.
You can do, I love painted brick. Like if it's a really boring old kind of brick, I love the look of painted brick.
Yeah.
With new shutters. You can do something with your front door.
Yeah.
That really sets it apart. There's a lot of nice new garage doors out there now that look like wood that you can do as well. And then on the inside, gosh, that's like an open slate. You can do whatever you'd like on the inside that's going to set you apart from those track builder type
homes. Yeah. So when you're choosing like art, like for me, my walls, for example, are completely bare because I can't commit. I have 2 identical mirrors hung above a church pew like in the hallway. And like that's all I can commit to. Because I'm like, I don't know what goes here. It's either too big or too small.
Right.
Am I going to get tired of it? Like, what are your suggestions for that?
I think art is a very personal thing, but I think deciding on the size or what you want there first, and it doesn't have to be art. It could be some kind of wall hanging. But I think if you start with the size that you want it, or if you wanted a collage, figuring out the sizes, and then find things you like. So if you hate it in 5 years, it doesn't matter. Change it. Right?
This goes back to not putting holes in the wall. We can't paint and we can't put holes in the wall.
There is spackle and there is touch-up paint. You will be fine, I promise.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I'm like I can't. My husband's like, we're not putting any holes in the walls.
Well, your walls might be different. They might be plastic.
No, they're actual
drywall.
They're drywall because they, like in the 70s, we inherited this house. And so in the 70s, my husband's grandpa like went in. Supposedly, the lady that lived in it, that he bought it from, had like 30 cats or something, and like there was no bathroom originally, there was no kitchen originally, and so they basically gutted it and went in and redid the wiring and
which it was probably knobbing too. You were saved that.
Yes.
You were saved.
So they put drywall up everywhere. But anyways, okay, if someone's thinking, okay, I want to redo my kitchen, where do they start? Like, do they pick flooring first? Do they put cabinetry first? Like, what do you do? Besides call you.
Right. Obviously. Call me.
Yeah.
I ask people if they have any inspirational pictures to share them with me. That's really helpful as a launching point. Then the other thing that I start out with too is the layout. Are we changing what you have? Are we taking over another space to make it bigger? What's the layout going to be? And then work with them. Budget is very important in kitchens and bathrooms. They can explode into crazy expensive things if you're not careful. Start with the layout and then find out cabinets, because you're going to be limited a little bit with your cabinetry based on wood, whether you want them painted. Start with that and then do your flooring and your tile. Or if you find a tile that you are madly crazy in love with, use that as your base starting point. Okay. And then build your cabinets around it. Find a flooring that goes with it.
Yeah. So. How do you know that the person you're hiring in terms of like the installer or like the tile person or the cabinet guy or lady,
right?
How do you know that person is legitimate?
Yeah, you have to be really careful. I would definitely get references from previous people that they have worked for. Get several. Google reviews if they have some. Friends, if friends can refer you to people. I do have some contacts that I refer people to. And always, don't, just because they're the least expensive, don't pick them necessarily. That doesn't always...
You're going to pay later.
You may pay later. But it doesn't mean that if they are the least expensive that they won't do a good job. You have to be really careful. So I try to hook people up with contractors and refer them to people. Some people that I've personally used, because I've only lived in Knoxville for 1.5 years. Okay. So I've had some things done to my home. And so I've built up a couple of people that I feel comfortable referring people to.
Right. So where were you before?
So
I think this is on your website. I didn't read. That's what I'm saying. Tell us now.
Yeah. So I moved here from Northern Kentucky because I fell in love with Knoxville. I had UT season tickets before I moved here.
Love it.
So I moved here and had my company up there for a while. Prior to that, I was in Michigan.
Okay.
I worked for a custom home builder and had my own company up there. I've lived in Connecticut. I lived in New York, lived in New Jersey, lived in California. So I've been all over the place.
So how is like East Tennessee design or interior design? Like, is it massively different than some of those other places? Like, how does it compare?
I don't think so. I think for this Midwest quarter that I've been living in the past, I don't know, I won't say how long.
A while.
A while. It's probably about the same. I think you probably see more differences on the East and West Coast. More so the West Coast, you have that more stucco buildings, the slate tiles, that kind of thing. But I think this whole area is pretty similar. There's a lot of like older on the far outside, older farmhouse kind of homes, those classic, kind of, wonderful little places.
Is there a like theme and or decade or something that's like you think is the most fun to like design around?
No, that's why I love interior design, because I love so much. I love mid-century modern. I love contemporary. Farmhouse for a while, that farmhouse kind of feeling. But I like it all, and I like how it evolves and changes all the time, and there's always new things.
What's your thoughts on like a quartz or stone countertop, like a granite or a quartz or whatever, versus a butcher block?
Butcher block is hard. It's beautiful. It's a little harder to maintain. You have to worry about keeping it clean and what you cut on it. Maybe if you do like a little section of it, just as an accent piece. Quartz and granite, I love, especially granite. I love especially the leathered or the textured kind because of the matte finish. And granite is such a beautiful, natural stone that comes out of the earth. You can't beat it. You also can put your hot pot on it and not have to worry about quartz. Requires a little bit more care. They can mimic some of the natural stone, but you can still tell that it's a man-made product. And you have to be careful with hot pots and things like that because it can cause it to melt.
What about marble? Are you a fan of like a marble kind of?
Marble looks amazing, and I know people who have put marble in their kitchens and don't regret it and don't complain about it. But every time I go to a supplier and I suggest that I'm considering it because of the look, they just shake their head at me.
Really? Why?
It's so absorbent.
Oh.
So if you were to put something like an olive oil bottle on the counter and have you'd get your ring of the olive oil. So it has to be well sealed. And if you're willing to have that patina of use on it, then go for it because it looks amazing.
Yeah, fabulous.
It really looks amazing.
Yeah. If there was like something luxury somebody was going to add in their house, design-wise, give us some ideas. Like a heated floor, or like shades that automatically go down, or like a TV that comes out of your bed, or like what are some like luxury things that like people should have on their radar?
Yes, absolutely heated floors if you're doing tile. The winters don't get that cold around here, but nobody wants to get out of a shower after you've been in a hot shower and you step on a cold floor. Those are amazing. And they're really not that expensive. It's a mat that they put down. They run the coil through the mat and it hooks up to your electric.
Easy.
So as long as your box isn't miles away from where they have to hook it to, it's very cost effective. Heated towel bars. What are some other things? Like you said, the TV that comes out of the wall, or a screen that goes across the TV if it's hanging on the wall so it looks like a picture and it's not showing.
Okay, that's a new thing too. I have a client that has that. And it looked like a painting on the wall.
And then the TV's behind it.
Yeah, very cool.
Hidden doors.
Oh, like a pocket door, or like a, you mean?
Like it looks like a bookshelf.
Yeah.
And you can open it and you walk into a pantry or an office or,
That's a fun kind of thing.
Another great way to use space, and there, again, depends on the level that you buy it at, Murphy beds.
Yeah.
Murphy beds are amazing. Oh gosh, I don't know. Can't think of anything else off the top of my head. But those are some big ones.
Yeah. If you're going to, like, on cabinetry, as an example, in a kitchen or maybe a bathroom, I don't know. I feel like soft clothes kind of goes without saying.
Yes.
But when it comes to something I didn't ever think about until we did our kitchen a couple years ago was like where the cabinet face, how far it goes. So does it cover just the opening, or does it go further? Right. Like, what's your suggestions on how do you know what's better for you or whatever? Like,
I think, and that's more of a design thing that you like. There are inset doors where the doors are inset the frame, it's smooth, but those also take up a lot of space because of the frame. You lose valuable storage space. Okay. I love full overlay because you can do full overlay with a very modern, sleek cabinet, or you can do it with a more traditional shaker kind of door on it, and it gives you just a nice sleek look to it.
How do you know when it comes to like two-tone or double, not two-tone, but like a different island in your cabinet? Again, people should just call you when they're trying to make like the color decision, but sometimes I feel like those go very wrong. Like one of the colors is like, what happened in here? Yeah. So how do you know, like, okay, this is a good decision, or like in 6 months I'm going to be like, this looks like Barbie's dream house? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what do you do for that?
Yeah, I think you have to be careful about the colors that you choose. We did go to the Kitchen and Bath Show in Vegas in February, and they had some outrageous color combinations, which I could appreciate. They were amazing. Purples and greens together, you know, green appliances with purple cabinets. It looks smashing, but to use it on a daily basis, it would have driven me crazy. Yeah. And then resale would have given me a heart attack.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking, the marketing of pictures with a purple.
Yeah. But that's your design. You don't do anything else in there. Right. The same way if you do in a powder room with some crazy botanical wallpaper. Right. I think you have to be careful with your colors. Probably the main thing, and it really depends on how long you plan on being in the home. Right. Keeping it more neutral. I wouldn't do a hot pink island unless you plan on being there forever. But again, you can paint it. Yeah, you can paint it. Yeah. But I really do like a combination of some kind of wood tone and then a painted, whether you have wood tone up above, painted down below, or your island is painted and the rest of the cabinets are wood tone. Yeah. And then also when it comes to like hanging curtains, I feel like this is also like hanging art or whatever on the walls the wrong way. What's the correct way to hang a curtain? I mean, does it need to go to the ceiling? Does it depend on like how tall the walls are? Obviously where the window is. Like how do you hang curtains? It really depends on the location of the window, how much space you have above your window, whether it's stacked windows with wall space in between, and whether you're trying to accentuate the height. Obviously the higher you hang it, the more it's going to draw your eye to the top and make your ceiling seem higher. Yeah. But at the same time, I really struggle with if there's a lot of wall space between the top of the window and your ceiling, having the window or the drapes go all the way to the top and you have this giant, massive space of wall. So it really depends on each situation, the best way to manage it. Yeah. Yeah, because I've hung curtain rods like in 3 different spots, which obviously is not approved by the husband, but it is what it is. So there's that spackle and that paint again. Also, don't hang drapes that just come to the bottom of your windowsills. You have to have drapes go to the floor. All the way to the floor. You have to go out of the floor. So, okay, all the way to the floor, and then I guess my thing is, again, and people just need to call you, but it's like, okay, I think velvet will look nice. Well, I hung velvet once. I was like, this looks like a travesty in here. Like, what's happening? So how do you choose fabric? And then also, how do you make things cohesive? Like, room to room, because you don't want it to all look the same, but it needs to look like this all goes here. Right? So what is that? Like, how do you do that? So you kind of have to have a plan in place before you move forward with anything. Otherwise, you might be stuck with that one thing that you find very difficult to match. For instance, when I was redoing my living room in northern Kentucky, I found these great leopard print pillows. Yeah. Absolutely love them. So I was going to do my whole room around the leopard print pillows. Well, I found it incredibly difficult to get other things to match with it that were available. Yeah. So it launched me onto what I was doing in the room, but I ended up going a completely opposite direction. Okay. So you have to be careful and kind of know what everything's going to be before you make a final decision. Yeah. And I also find people's taste tends to be the same. Most people are not very brave. So they will gravitate towards what they like, and so that just kind of ends up being a theme through all the rooms that they do. It ends up not being as hard as you would think. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just the problem. So also, when you think about like design in a room, when is a room done? Like, when do you know, okay, we're good?
Oh gosh, probably when all your pictures are in place, all your accessories are in place. You also don't want it to get too cluttered. So if it's feeling comfortable, if you have a few little knickknacks, if you have your pictures up, window treatments are the way you want.
Yeah.
That's probably.
So does every wall need something on it? Like,
not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your take on accent walls? Like, every room needs an accent wall? Like a...
No.
Okay.
No, and it also depends on the room and what else is going to be on that wall. You know, you might be able to do a small little accent. For instance, if you have a fireplace wall and you've got bookshelves on either side, doing the back part of the bookshelves in either a fun color or some type of texture or wallpaper is a great way to add a little bit of accent without going over the top.
Bananas.
Sometimes it looks like you tried to do an accent wall and it doesn't come off well.
It doesn't. Yeah, no, I know what you're doing. You're like, oh my God. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so I feel like a couple takeaways are you need a plan.
You need a plan.
Basically, ideally plan ahead of time.
Right.
And it's okay you don't need to do the whole house today.
No.
Like, it can be a plan, right?
It can be as long a term and as much as your budget can manage plan. Yeah.
Right. When it comes to like setting a budget, I mean, I don't want to say necessarily what's realistic. I think it obviously depends on every person and every family or whatever, but to me that would be something people, to call you about, like, hey, I need to redo a kitchen, this is what I'm thinking.
Right.
Like, is it realistic or whatever?
Yeah. That helps. Also knowing what and a kitchen has a very wide range, and it depends. If you love to cook and you're a gourmet cook, appliances are going to be far more important to you than somebody else who orders out all the time and they just want it to look nice. Right. The numbers of people you entertain, what space you have to work with, the more cabinets you put in, the more expensive it's going to be. Yeah. Yeah, figuring out your budget, and then also knowing that you can borrow and prioritize from your budget. You don't have to stick with what you started. Right. So all of a sudden you find this range that you can't part with, you have to have, but it's $2,000 more than what you anticipated spending. You might be able to back off on the cost of your tile backsplash and say, okay, we need to make that line item a little less expensive. And we can borrow from somewhere else in that budget if that's a priority for you. Yeah. Okay. So. Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you're like, before we end today, I gotta say this? I don't think so. You asked me a lot of good questions. Well, I'm like, I mean, I back in the day, as a kid, I would buy like those I would make my mom like get me those house plan books. Yes. And I would go through them and I would like imagine in my head, like, this is how this should be, like, blah, blah, blah. But fast forward as an adult, when I try to design loosely, you try to execute, it doesn't like come my across. Own spaces. Like, I can do like some staging and stuff like that. Like, I can make a space sterile. Like, I can do that when it's not involving my personal space. But even now, like in my office, like I should have a whole like wall because I do a lot of recording and stuff, and it's just like that urban night dark gray color because I can't commit to anything. And my house is the same way. So anyways, it's like in my mind, I'm like, I want to do this, but it's not coming out very well. Well, I just can't even my bedspread. I can't even commit to a freaking bedspread, like much less anything else. So anyways, but that being said, okay, if people want to work with you, find you on the internet, like what should they do? Where should they go? So I have a website. It's yourimminentdomain.net. Which is brilliant, by the way. That's a brilliant name. Yeah. But because it is. It's all about your space and making it your space. Right. I also have Instagram, which is the same, the Your Imminent Domain. And we'll link everything. Yes. So, and I have a Facebook page, too, awesome. Your Imminent Domain. Okay. So. And then, like, if somebody wants to work with you, like, can they just message you there, reach out there? Yep. My telephone number, my email is on there. Either one. You can text me, call me, email, whichever works for you. And I would say, like, just get the conversation going. Like, reach out if you have a question. I'm happy to have a consultation with you and just kind of find out what you're thinking. And even if you're not even sure, just to give you an idea. Yeah. Can you help people, like, this is from a budget perspective? Like, if someone is, like,
I'm going to spend $1 billion, you're like, well, actually, it could be this much. Or if they're like, I want to spend 5,
Yeah,
like, well, you need to spend 10, maybe.
Yes. Well,
So
and
helping with like budgeting and being realistic, I guess. Yeah.
Budgeting and sending you to places to actually look at the cabinetry, because there's very different levels of cabinetry.
Yes.
Low, medium, high.
Yeah.
And you might discover that you can find the look that you want with a relatively good quality box that keeps you in your budget.
Yeah.
And maybe not. Maybe what you want is going to be pricier than what you anticipated, which I always find for myself. There is not one thing I do for myself that I get the budget back. And especially now with these like volatile economic times.
Oh my gosh.
You're like,
yes.
I remember when I did that like 10 years ago, it wasn't really that expensive. What happened? So,
I know. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This
Thank
is
you
awesome.
for having me.
Yes, of course. And go Vols. We are so
Go
glad
Vols.
you came here. We're happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here.
That's awesome. Well, y'all go check out her website.
Yes.
And if you have questions, go reach out.
Call me, text me,
Yeah,
email
call
me.
her, text her, all the things. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.